Can I file a writ petition against a private body as well? Well, the law of the land is very, very clear. You cannot. You can only avail of your fundamental rights against a public body, a state. Yet, a lot of people love the option of going and filing a writ petition before the court, even when private bodies are involved and even when the main grievance is against a private body, because writ matters do not require detailed evidence being submitted by the parties being cross-examined. None of that is required. You go to the court, you file your petition, the other parties file their reply, the court hears all of these arguments and makes up its mind and goes ahead and decides the matter. But how do you file a writ petition against a private body? A couple of years ago, this man came to me and said that he was wronged, he was discriminated against by a private body. And he asked me what are his remedies, and I explained to him if he files a civil suit for damages, it will take several years. But the thing that he wanted from that private institution is something that if he did not get within the next, say, 6 months or 1 year or so, the whole thing becomes infructuous. He doesn't really get any benefit to stretch it out for long. The solution that we came up with was to file a writ petition in the Delhi High Court against the private body. But of course, as I discussed earlier, filing a writ against a private body is not possible. What we did do, which a lot of people do, in terms of a solution for approaching a high court under the writ remedy, is that we see whether that private body has, whether any government body has any sort of direct or indirect control in terms of statutory compliances, in terms of rules which must require adherence to. And then you approach that public body, of course, which also majority of the times does not do anything against that private institution over which it has supervisory control. But in this particular situation, we approached the DGCA, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, against an airline for discriminating against a potential candidate for the position of cabin crew on the basis of the fact that he was an overseas card holder of India and not an Indian citizen. The airline gave some flimsy excuse that some DGCA notification talks about something, but we looked it up, we analyzed it from all angles, and we realized that it was complete hogwash, and this notification was not at all applicable on this particular person. I don't want to go into a lot of details because I am myself a little fuzzy because it's been quite a lot of time since that thing had happened. But we decided that we will approach the DGCA, and if the DGCA will not do anything, which it won't, because this man had on many other occasions also reached out to the DGCA, which did nothing. But when we made a representation to the DGCA, an official representation, which the DGCA knew will end up as a writ petition in the next 1 week or 10 days or so, we gave this representation to the DGCA, and then we started working on the writ petition, saying that we gave a representation to the DGCA that you take action against this private airline for discriminating against a potential cabin crew on certain criteria because of some notification. And the DGCA did not do anything in this span of 10-15 days or whatever it is. And that is why the DGCA we come against in the High Court, which the DGCA of course is a public body, is state under the definition of state under the Constitution. And then this state be directed to the court be pleased to issue a writ of mandamus against this state functionary and to take action against this private body for this said discrimination. I don't know what would have happened. There are several technical requirements. There are a lot of occasions, and even then it's a discretionary relief. The judge may or may not grant it to you based on several factors. But as also happens on a lot of occasions, simply when you are in the process of filing that writ and they know that you are going to end up with that writ, they themselves preemptively reach out to you and sort out the situation. And this is exactly what happened here as well. The DGCA reached out to the client, The moment we sent that representation, I think the next day itself, the DGCA said, "What is your problem?" And my client said, "This is the problem. And I've made a representation about this exact same thing to you as well. I have called up officials, I have email correspondences with officials of the DGCA, but nothing happened then." And then the DGCA calls up that private airline, asks them, "Kya bhai, what is your problem? Why aren't you doing this?" And then the airline calls up the client and says, "Please come here and let us proceed with taking your interview and doing whatever needs to be done to inculcate you as a cabin crew for this airline." Well, ultimately the pandemic happened, and then I'm not really aware of what transpired with the client after the pandemic happened. We kind of lost touch. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that if a private body, a large private body especially, is not doing anything, and you might want a speedier remedy against that private body, you may also approach your state high court with a writ jurisdiction. But of course, you have to make the relevant public functionary, which has some sort of supervisory, statutory, some sort of control over that private body. Another example that comes to my mind is when Mr. Hegde, senior advocate, filed a writ petition against Twitter, saying that Twitter is now a public platform. And I believe he also made Ministry of Information Technology a party as well to this writ petition. And that matter is still going on. It's been about, I think, 2 years, stretched on partly because of the pandemic as well. But I am not too confident whether he will win in this matter, because according to me, Twitter being a private platform has not really disobeyed any compliance, any statutory mandate, or any order of either the government, nor any statute, nor any directive by either the ministry or any other governmental rule or regulation by removing a person. For Mr. Hegde to say that my freedom of speech on a private platform also ought to be protected is something which I think he will face a little bit of difficulty. What he could have instead done, I personally believe, is to file a civil suit for injunction and damages, mandatory injunction to Twitter to restore his account, and for damages as well because of the harassment, the litigation expenses, and the fact that he suffered loss of reputation as well because of Twitter removing his account. Because personally, I feel that even if it's a private party, even if it's a free public platform, there is a certain amount of equity which is created by a user of the platform when he creates an account, generates content for the private platform, so that more and more people come and join that platform. I also drafted a civil suit similar to this one for a client. That thing is still hanging somewhere in a purgatory because of some other reasons. That's a video for another time. It's a very, very lengthy video that I've made already. But long story short, writ petition against a private body, make the public functionary a part of it as well. And there is a very, very good chance that you can get some good relief if you deserve it.